BB.
Hello, and welcome back to another edition of Carrie's Gardening Channel. So, today is May 30th, 2022, and I thought we'd take a quick walk here and I would show you some of the different bushes that we have blooming and some of the different flowers, and we'll have a little garden chat. So this is one of our azalea bushes here. This is highly fragrant. You can really smell the sweet fragrance off of it. And there's a lot more still coming on this. I believe this is a bright lights azalea. I think that's what this one here is. But beautiful colors in the leaves. Has like the leaves have like they're sort of variegated in a way. They're not like a green. They have different colors in them. And then the beautiful flowers here just set it all off. And the rose bushes here are coming back really nice. They are going to start blooming soon. So I'm really happy that I didn't lose any of them. There's still some dead stuff to cut out of them, but they're really coming back nice for me. And these here are flags, and these are blooming. Now I know some of you wanted to see, and you're requesting a video for when the naturalized plantings that we did of the daffodils was blooming. A lot of those were too small to actually bloom this year. So with the cold that we had and with all the rain, the ones that did bloom, it was really hard on the blooms, so there really wasn't too much to show. So I didn't do a video on them. I was going to, but with all the mud splashing up on them, it really wasn't something to do like a video on. But they did come up for us, and I did show them in the spring tour. I showed some of them. So you can check that out if you want to see, what some of them look like. But a lot of them, the bulbs need to mature more so that they bloom more. And I've been working on getting my flower bed planted. We've been having so much rain that it's been harder to get into the ground. You can see here, let me show you back here. Let me get back here. Gotta watch where I step here so I don't step on anything. One of the gladiolus that we planted, you can see there's the sprout from it right there. And there's another one over there. So they are coming up. Now there's one just starting right there. And we put little sticks in so that we didn't accidentally dig them up or we didn't step on them. So there's more coming up all over the place in here. And they're going to be really pretty. I did do a video for how to plant them. And you can check that out on my channel for how to plant the bulbs. Gladiolus makes excellent cut flowers, and they're just really pretty. They are great for drawing in your pollinators. So this whole area here, I was ready to plant them one day, and our ground had finally just started drying out where I could actually start planting. So I had everything almost all ready to plant. And it started raining, so thankfully I didn't have any of my plant food in, because that would have been a mess. But this little flower bed was, most of it, except for that part up top there, was cleaned out last fall. And you can see a lot of weeds did come back. We are pulling them out and getting rid of them. And I'm putting my stuff in. My lilies are doing so much better since we took everything out and re-put everything back in, because they were so crowded before nothing could even grow in here. So that up there is kind of, it's kind of a hard area to work around because of that tree. We don't want to damage the tree. So that all kind of has to be taken out by hand, and I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with that spot yet. It's so grown up and so dense that it just really needs to be like thinned out and stuff that I don't need or want taken out. But the columbines that were transplanted, they survived, and I do have some yarrow coming back in here, and some of the corpius that I had transplanted into here is coming back. So I'm watching, you know, like when I'm digging in different things, I don't take something out that I want. So this is one of my blue plerums here, and this one here came out of the old greenhouse. Now the old greenhouse is a very warm greenhouse, and this is one of them that came out of there. I do have more growing in the new greenhouse, and those will be coming out and being transplanted into here. I'm going to do a video for how to transplant blue plerum seedlings. And my limons are back. My limons are back here. And I did transplant some of these. I am going to do a video for how to transplant limon. And you can see these plants here are really small. They are starting to bloom. And I don't want them quite blooming yet because of how small they are. So I'm going to be cutting this bloom down. And I'm going to be letting the plants grow more. And they're going to start blooming later on then. But I want to give the plants a chance to establish themselves in. And this is one of our rhododendron bushes here. So pretty this year. And rhododendrons, when they bloom, are great for helping to attract your pollinators in. There's all kind of little bees on these. And they're really great for drawing in your pollinators. Butterflies like them too. So this rhododendron here is what they call a York County rhododendron, and that's the name of the variety. Beautiful pure white blooms on it. There's another little rhododendron here. This one's a lot younger plant, and doesn't have quite as many blooms on it, but it is still growing. And we put some fruit trees in for like a little orchard down here. And we're going to be going down to look at that rhododendron down there next. The thing with fruit trees is trying to keep the pests from attacking the fruit and ruining it. And this one here is a really big rhododendron. Now this one here was actually planted at the exact same time as the other one under the pine trees. And they're the exact same variety, but you can see how different growing areas produced much larger rhododendrons. Now this one here, when we first put it in, the deer were eating it down so badly, and we had to keep, you know, like trying to fence it and cage it to keep them away from it. And it just started growing, and you can see how large it is. Let's see here. We're not seeing too many butterflies this year yet. Seeing a few, but not too many. So I think this one may have been planted in 2010. I think that's when it may have been planted. But you can see on the back side here, there's not as much growth, and that's because of the shade like from the trees. But I think these are the prettiest that these have ever bloomed this year. So, the tomatoes are in. Some of them are blooming. And we do have some corn in. We have most of the potatoes in. Our cold season stuff is in. We got a really late start this year because of how wet everything is. You can still see the ground is wet. And we did plant some squash and zucchini. The onions are in. And we're really behind getting everything in. And it's because of how wet everything is, and we have more rain coming, so nothing is really getting to dry out too much. But we're happy for what we did get in. So in between, like when the ground's too wet to plant and the rain, we've been trying to get, containers planted and different things. We're trying to work on what we can work on as we're letting the ground dry out to make sure that we're getting our stuff actually planted. And we have the 3 greenhouses now, and they have plants growing in them. We are having some issues with white flies, and we also are having an issue with thrips. I have no idea where they came from. They were actually in there before it got warm out. So, working on getting those taken care of. I did order some ladybugs, and those are coming live. So I think they're supposed to be delivered next week, and I will be doing a video on them, like when we release them, and I'll show you the damage for what the pests are doing. We did have roses growing in greenhouses is not always a good idea. I know some people do that, but even in like the big greenhouses, they can have issues with spider mites. So that there we did spray. We took care of that. We were trying different sprays and different things for the thrips and for the white flies. And I did find a new brand of neem oil, new for me. I'd never seen it before. We went to a different store, and I seen they had it there. It was Bondicide Captain Jack's Neem Max, and we did try that, and I believe it is working. We took the plants, some of the real bad plants, we took them outside because they can come outside now, and went ahead and sprayed those. Now your neem oil can take like 3 to 4 days to start working. Now we're not going to put those back in the greenhouse because we don't want to hurt our good guys. We don't want to hurt the ladybugs, so they're staying outside. And what I'm actually doing is right before the ladybugs come, I'm going to start working on spraying down all of the foliage to make sure that we don't have any residue from any of the sprays that we had used to try and control the pest issues. And pests are something that you deal with when you have greenhouses. I know the one people that we talked to, they've had their greenhouse for at the very least 18 years. And they deal with pests in their greenhouse. And they sell their stuff, and they went all natural this year and they were using different predatory things to try and control the stuff this year. and they said it really worked well for them. So I talked to them, and they suggested the ladybugs. They told me where they got them from, and we're going to go ahead and, you know, give those a try. So we did have some ladybugs flying in actually yesterday, and I took and put them in the one greenhouse, and they started going to work right away. So really, you know, looking forward to them taking care of this issue. We're not going to be spraying in the greenhouses anymore or any of that, and, you know, let them do their thing and, you know, monitor and just keep watching. And as we get a lot of the perennials out and get them planted and stuff, I think it's going to take care of a lot of, you know, the different issues as well. And if something, you know, needs addressed when we have it out of the greenhouse where the ladybugs aren't going to be, then, you know, we'll deal with it then. So another thing that I'm growing new this year that I'm experimenting with is ranunculus. And I do have some ranunculus seedlings actually growing. And they're not to the point of blooming yet. They're just really little, and they're starting to get their true leaves. So later on I will be doing a video for them. Now, they say that they're more of a cool season thing. So I have them in the new greenhouse, not the bed house, but the new greenhouse with the shelves on it. And it has the white plastic over it, because that's a much cooler greenhouse. So they seem to be doing very well so far. So we'll see how they do. And then I want to do a video later on for you for how to start those from seed. So I'm working out the best way to actually start them from seed. And I'm going to be teaching you what I learned and how I grew mine. So I'm going to wrap this video up here. And I have a lot of planning to get done today outside. I'm trying to work, you know, in between the rain, and we're supposed to get rain again on Thursday. So some of the ground in my flower bed is dried out enough that I can get plants in. So that's what I'm going to be working on today. So if you like my video, please like, comment, subscribe. Please don't forget to hit the little notification button. That times I put a new video on. Also follow me on Twitter. I'll have a link down in the description for my Twitter account. Thank you for watching, and hope you have a nice day. Bye.